Episode number 243.
Customer service, that's just treating someone like a human.
Right.
That's like acknowledging somebody's in your space, in your store to do commerce. What's the next evolution? The next evolution of that is digital hospitality.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, as you know, I'm always fired up, and as all of us, we got to eat, but nothing like a good barbecue. And so I'm so excited to bring us our featured guest today. And after this show, I think you guys are going to want to get barbecuing and get some barbecue because we're bringing you our featured guest today, Shawn Walchef. Shawn, are you ready to be real?
Ready to be real. Let's do it.
My man's ready to be real. And Shawn is a restaurateur. He is also a podcast host, folks, a digital hospitality podcast. He is the owner of CaliBBQ.Media as well. And we'll talk about that. Not only is he a restaurateur, but he is also into media. He is also a new dad, and he's a sports entertainment fanatic. And I'm sure right now you're just dying, like we all are, to get that sports back on. It's bummed to see the stuff with the MLB, but it's going to come back over time. But pleasure to have you on the show today, Shawn. How's your day going today?
Today is fantastic, man. It's one of those things. You can either be grateful and have a positive mindset, or you can focus on things that are outside of your control. We choose to have that positive mindset, man.
Right. As we're all going through the Rona right now, and it's affecting businesses in different ways. And we're going to talk about that in your business because you're in the restaurant business. Thank God that you are able to feed people right now in this time of need, where people are maybe a little more stressed out and need to eat food. We all need to eat at bottom line. But then business change. You have to evolve. You have to find new ways. But tell me about your journey in creating CaliBBQ first. I would like to know, because when I look at your website, folks, your mouth's going to water. When you go to CaliBBQ.Media, your mouth's going to water, folks, because, man, you got some ribs on there. Tell me about the journey.
Yeah, so, I appreciate you having me on the show. I've been digging all the stuff that you have. Did a digital deep dive on your background, and
Thanks, man.
mad props to what you're creating in Fresno. I think that's really one of the most compelling things about where I sit today. I look back on the last 12 years of running Cali Comfort Barbecue, and we opened in 2008, height of the economic recession. I had a bunch of smart people around me that advised me that in real estate and when you're selecting a restaurant, that we should be choosing for location. We chose a location that was underserved. A location that most people wouldn't go out and think, hey, this is a place where we're going to start a sports bar, we're going to build a community restaurant, or we're going to do something different and unique here. People would just drive by it and really not even knew they were there. We decided that if we do it right, if we make a sports bar that's family friendly, we serve quality food, and we give an experience that is memorable, we could do something that hadn't been done in the area. And at that time, that was 2008. So 2007, June 29th, 2007. The reason I know that date is because 10 years later was the birth of my son. My son was born June 29th, 2017. And I was in the hospital looking on, what significant things have happened in history on June 29th. And I looked and it said, the iPhone came out 10 years earlier. And it's kind of crazy to think that the iPhone has only been around since 2007.
Right.
It really got me thinking about my digital journey, about marketing, about the restaurant business, about barbecue, about podcasting, and, how had we been able to survive? Because it was survival. We started with 18 employees. We did about 300,000 in sales that first year, which barely, we were still putting money in. So we were still finding investors because we weren't profitable at that time.
Right.
We got sued along the way. We weren't even a barbecue restaurant when we first started. We had a menu that was kind of all over the place. We were built on breakfast. But I look back and I go, what happened along the way is that we opened in a location that was so difficult to get people to come out and find out where we were. That forced us to use the internet in ways that other restaurants didn't really have to do, because they selected better space. They had higher traffic. They might have had a better business plan. We had to fight like hell just to keep our doors open. So if Facebook came along, I tell the story a lot on our podcast, is, one of my closest friends who I opened up the restaurant with, Corey Robinson. He was one of my friends from college, and he grew up in the business. And once we decided to take this liquor license and open the sports bar, we this is when Facebook was starting to get popular, and I didn't have a Facebook account. I made fun of him for having a Facebook account. What the fuck are you doing on Facebook? Like, are you just trying to get chicks? Like, what's this Facebook?
Hey, that was a good
about?
game time. That was a game time right there too.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have MySpace. I consider myself, I'm a Y2K baby. So I graduated high school in 2000. That's when the internet was supposed to have a glitch in it and the earth was supposed to end. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Right.
But I grew up, I was in college when Napster came out. So, for me, tech has always been something that it's not what I studied. It's not what I know, but I've lived it. Just as we all have lived it. We've all lived this digital revolution. And, once I realized that we needed to get people in the restaurant and Facebook offered a business page, I started call it a digital marketing journey, where I said, well, if I can no longer think that this is uncool, I just need to create a Facebook page and start posting about events, start posting pictures of our menus, start posting pictures about what we're doing in the community. And I did that. And then I went on to Yelp and claimed our business page. Then I went on to Google Maps and claimed that business. And then, Twitter came out and we started tweeting. And then, eventually Instagram became popular. But all those things were all free tools. Did we do traditional advertising? Absolutely. We tried it all. We advertised in the newspaper. We tried to make local deals on local sports radio. We tried to get on TV. We tried to get newspapers to write about us. Literally, we didn't give a shit. We needed people to know that we were here and that hopefully we were doing something that was compelling that people would want to buy into.
Come check it out.
That in a nutshell is how we got to 12 years later. 3 years ago is when I started the Behind the Smoke podcast with Derek Marceau, who owns a local butcher shop. And we really wanted to go deeper into kind of sharing our struggles along the way as business owners, not just in the barbecue space, because there's plenty of barbecue podcasts that you can listen to that'll teach you how to smoke tri-tip, that'll tell you which grill you should use. I mean, Barbecue Central show. We have so many friends that are in the barbecue podcasting space, and we love what they do. Why do we need to replicate what they do? Let's do what we do. And what we do is talk about marketing. We talk about media. We talk about barbecue. We talk about business. We talk about sports, all the things that make us who we are. If I find a guest that's compelling enough, then my hope is that the listeners will find them compelling too. So it's my job, it's my fiduciary, it's my obligation for someone to spend their time, that I need to find somebody that has a compelling story that somebody can learn from, because that's how we did it. Like I said, I didn't go to school to learn how to do digital marketing or to create content or to produce a podcast or to start doing video. We literally learned for 12 years in an undesirable location, but that has put us into the position where we are now.
And you know how to do it, folks. He knows how to do it, because after doing something for 12 years, you not only can become confident, you can tell your story. There's so much into, obviously, trial and error. Some campaigns don't work. Some campaigns do work. Where's the sweet spot? What to offer? And we're all being tested right now, especially because it's just we're all being given a pandemic. Hey, no one could plan this in the forecast. Big companies to small. So now we're really having to find out how to struggle, how to maybe humble ourselves in certain ways, but then also how to lean in, how to thrive. And if you haven't done digital, now's the time, obviously, for restaurants and many types of businesses, because it's so efficient and effective too. I mean, the effectiveness that you can get on a digital campaign versus going to some of the broadcasts, which I'm come from broadcast, working at ABC television, is unbelievable. I mean, what you can do for the amount of money, with the, my favorite one for the restaurants is like the 2 mile radius around the location. So it's like you just
unbelievable.
Hit them hard, 3 to 5 miles around the location. Get those people that are going to be your regulars, because that makes the restaurant. If you get some regulars in there 3 to 4, 5 times a week, you're done. You're good.
Yep.
Everything else is fringe and so many. I mean, it's underutilized. It's just underutilized. And so there's just so many things you can do right now, folks. So don't use that as an excuse. But so then you turn some of the business into now more talking in a media sense. You now have not just a business, but you now are basically, you have your own podcast. You're helping people create, maybe helping them not only order stuff from you, order catering, order delivery, but you're now looked at as an authority in many other ways, which I think separates you as a business owner. And I think that's something that people can become more likable. They can find out who Shawn is through your podcast. And then if they want to order catering, obviously they can, but the podcast can also maybe reach people that you couldn't maybe with the catering business, and so
Sure.
It allows you diversity, especially because you've been doing it for so long. And then now you hit a pandemic, you're going to even be stronger than your competitors coming out of this because you already have that backbone. You already know how to do digital ads. And you've already built followings in certain maybe areas. I looked at your Instagram, et cetera. Others haven't. And so that's the thing that people miss often too, Shawn, is that they just don't do it, right? I mean, they just don't. When you started your digital hospitality podcast, for instance, people just a lot of times say, I want to do a podcast, but they just don't do it. I'm too busy, Shawn.
Yeah.
I got too much things to do. You know what I mean? It's like,
correct.
It's one of those things you got to just do it.
Yeah.
And then make pivots, learn, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's, you're 100% correct. And I think that people get into a paralysis of decision and they want to produce content. Yes, they know they should be on Instagram if they own a business. Yes, they know they should have photos on Yelp. Yes, they know that they should have a YouTube page, but they're not confident as a videographer. They're not confident in their camera work. They're not confident speaking on camera. When ultimately, at the end of the day, nobody that started in any platform was good at what they did. Of course, there's examples of people that have followings, but that's really not what it's about. It's about the constant improvement every single day of learning how to create a more compelling tweet, on my personal page as well as on my business page, how to create different content that might be the same, but repurposed in a different way for Instagram, for Instagram stories, for, how am I going to write on Nextdoor? Nextdoor has become very popular for people that want local services.
Right.
Guess what? If my restaurant's not posting photos on Nextdoor, somebody else is going to figure that out. And then they're going to start owning that. It's so exciting for people that start to understand that they have all the answers that they've ever wanted literally in their hand. It's in their hand. That iPhone, that Android, that Google phone has the capability of making 4K video, publishing on the internet, all for free. Right. You can literally Google this shit. You can listen to podcasts for this shit, and they will tell you play by play how it happens. But just because it happens doesn't mean that you're going to have thousands of people listening to your podcast, hundreds of thousands. You're not going to break the Apple charts. You're not going to be That's the problem. The problem is that we want the trending video. We want the viral video. Well, even if your video goes viral, even if you have 5 videos that go viral, what does that lead to? That leads to just improving your craft along the way. Yep. Because maybe the next thing is TikTok, and you start realizing that content you were making for YouTube is pared down in a shorter version for TikTok. Yeah. And that leads to somebody seeing your video that might eventually invest in your company that helps you open up your second location or helps you launch your next product. And like that's the end. At the end of the day, we have the answer. It's literally in every one of our pockets. That's literally how people are going to be listening. Every analytics will tell you that mobile first is how people are on their website, are searching on their phone. Right. And what does the internet break down to? It's video, audio, and written word. So if you can start producing that, all of a sudden, no matter what you do, no matter what you care about, you're going to start creating a niche in your space, in your village. And back to the marketing versus media, we were doing digital marketing. So we were learning how to tell our own story, which is hard to do. Right. It takes a certain amount of, I think that I'm humble, but obviously I have to have some sort of pride to know that nobody's going to tell the CaliBBQ story better than I am. I don't have a barbecue background. I don't come from Texas. I don't come from Kansas City. What the fuck do I have to do from San Diego talking about barbecue? Like, really, I have a barbecue podcast. I'm going to National Barbecue Association and talking to people that have championships, world championships.
Legacies, and it's like their dad, their grandpa. Yeah. Right. Wow.
Yeah. that's not who I am.
Right.
So why don't I just stay in my lane and keep talking about podcasting? Because that's my lane. Am I an expert in podcasting? Absolutely not.
Right.
But I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
I'm doing it, and I'm constantly learning how to do it. So.
And that's the most important thing. I always say, just do you, folks, because too often we do so much for others. We do so much for our friends, our family. We want to be the best friend. We want to be the best friend to our dog. We want to be the best person watching all the Netflix shows so we can know what to talk about. But the most important thing is that you focus at least a little bit in your day. I say at least 1 hour in your day at doing something for you, creating a podcast, having a blog, making a YouTube channel, learning TikTok. And if you don't actually do it, at least learn about it, at least learn about it, read about it, watch videos about it, listen to interviews of experts. They're giving you, most information is out there for free. You don't have to join a mastermind. Not that there's anything wrong with masterminds, but you don't have to join one to get the knowledge. It's Google or YouTube. Right. There's podcasts. There's so much knowledge. But just know this, folks. It's just like getting fit or just like having a lottery or just like your business, my man, 12 years. Congratulations. It ain't easy. It doesn't just happen overnight. You don't just become overnight success. The show's podcast, our show has been doing it for like 6 years now, and so, and still we're at a point where we're happy, but it's not where I believed if I put in 6 years of work where it would be. But hey, you have to always want more for yourself. If I look back and said 6 years ago, would I have interviewed this cool amount of 240 people and met the people that I've met? No, I would have never thought that. So you think about it in different ways. And that's the most important thing to think about, folks. I always say social media, remember this, is email. Email is the start to social media. If you look back in research, and I always personally use Gmail as one of my most successful platforms because not only am I booking guests on there, folks, on my podcast, but I'm also talking to my team. I'm also communicating with customers and getting deals. I'm also meeting with my agency partners that are bringing us business and new deal flow. It's everything. It's built me. Everything is gmail.com, and I don't have to be, no one sees those. So just remember that social networking is really just one-on-one communication at scale. I mean, you can, talk to many different people from different places, just like Zoom is at scale now and all these things. Hey, this is the future we live in. Like you said, it can be done on your phone. It can be done on the simplest devices. And so it's more of just we let ourselves be the excuse, and I think that's the most important thing for people to remember is don't let yourself be the excuse. You're going to be very regretful down the road.
I think that's a great example of what you said, is that email is a social platform, and take it a step further, texting is a social platform. And when people tell me that they don't know what to write on Twitter and they don't know what, I'm like, literally you're texting to the internet. Right. So those group texts where you have an opinion, you have a point of view, you're just writing that text on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram. Like, that's what it is. That's what's happening. And if we don't think that's happening, look around us. Look, what is your wife doing? What are your kids doing? What are people around, your friends doing? Everyone's got a fucking phone. That's where you're getting information. So I don't care if you're an attorney in a law firm and this is how you've done things for centuries. Right. Guess what? You need to be on these platforms too. Well, that's a dancing platform, TikTok. Guess what? That's where people are. Right. That's where the next generation of law firm, where people like me, people like you are going to say, I want somebody that understands what's happening with digital, because guess where I'm going to get sued? I'm going to get sued in the information space.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's so true. I mean, especially now going forward, all of us have different, we're all creating content. We're all maybe infringing on different things and copyright infringement. You hear that a lot in music, obviously. You see these huge lawsuits that come after a song's been a big hit, right? Like these big hit songs happen. What was the one with T.I. and Pharrell? And all of a sudden, someone's coming through the woodwork and wants all that damn money. They want all of it.
Do you know what the cheapest insurance that I purchase is for my business?
The business liability insurance.
No.
What?
My cyber insurance.
Oh, cyber. Okay.
It's literally cyber insurance.
Which is your best one? Which is give a shout out to them.
That's Rancho Mesa Insurance. That's my broker. Rancho Mesa.
Okay.
Insurance.
Rancho Mesa. Okay.
Kevin Howard. But what I talked to him about is exactly what we're talking about, is that the most undervalued business asset is the digital asset.
Right.
When somebody comes to evaluate a business, they're going to come to a business broker is going to come to a restaurant. They're going to look at the lease. They're going to look at the sales. They're going to look at the equipment. They're going to come up with a spreadsheet, and they're going to say, this is what this business is worth.
Right.
For me, if I'm going to go purchase a restaurant, I'm going to go look at their Facebook followers. I'm going to go look at their email list. I'm going to go look at what's their digital impact that they've made.
Right.
And I'm going to make an assessment based off of that. And that to me is more important than any of the physical equipment that's in the restaurant.
Right.
Which is
because you can pivot that. You can pivot that.
Correct.
You can sell online, Shopify. I mean, so many of the restaurants, Jeff Finster, Everbowl.
Oh, Everbowl?
Yeah. I mean,
that's my guy.
He's a great guy. Great guy. When we had him on the show, he's just talking about how he pivoted his business overnight, Shopify'd his business, and now he's selling those packs direct to you through the pandemic when his stores were closed. You know, he's like, hey, I'm going to send these to people. And all of a sudden he realized, hey, I can send to a lot more people, folks, than I just had in my own locations. And now I'm actually sending stuff across the country and things like that. So you just start to realize how impactful digital is. I remember
he just leveraged that into a QVC appearance and sold out in 7 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Like, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Like, even though the guy has 25 stores and he's about to franchise more, what this internet and this smartphone will do, it unlocks an unbelievable ability to sell product anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere.
It's unbelievable. It really is. And so there's just no excuse. Bottom line, there's no excuse. So as it is right now, back into the business side, how are you feeling with the business? What are the struggles? Obviously, are you having to be at capacity limits right now and things like that with the physical locations?
So the full service restaurant model is broken, and it was broken before COVID.
Right.
And that goes back to the retail model. So many businesses have such small margins that COVID has really exposed. It's become the great purge of what's going to happen with retail, and not just retail, but a lot of different industries as well. And what we've found is that back to that 12-year journey of having to do what most restaurants didn't have to do, the ones that are winning, people that I know that I respect that own restaurants, are the ones that own social. They create their own content. They go live on Facebook. They have an email newsletter. They've already set up third-party delivery. They sell directly through their website. Their website's mobile first. I mean, they understand that this smartphone that we all have, that kids have. I mean, my son's 3. He knows how to use YouTube. You know, it's like he knows how to use it. It intrinsically, he knows how to skip literally he knows how to press the skip ad button because he doesn't want his content interrupted.
Wow.
I mean, that tells you everything you need to know.
Right.
That's amazing. So it's just, it's such an exciting time for us as a business, because we've realized that even though we've had to lay off 27 employees, which was the hardest thing that I've done in 12 years, those are factors outside of our control.
Absolutely.
We literally had to close our dine-in services in the state of California. Governor Gavin Newsom on St. Patrick's Day, literally that was the day that we could no longer do dine-in service. So we had to pivot into a takeout and delivery only business. My team, led by my general manager, Eric, just did a phenomenal job rearranging the entire, we have a 5,700 square foot restaurant where we're utilizing windows in our restaurant. We've moved POS machines so that we can separate customers so that they're socially distanced when they come and they pick up food and they order it online, that it's a seamless digital hospitality experience. That's the thing that I'm driven by every single day, is having the conversation of what's next. You know, customer service is something that has been around forever. And I think customer service is bullshit. You know, someone that's been in the hospitality space as long as I have, customer service, when you walk into Home Depot, when you walk into a shoe store, Foot Locker, customer service, they're supposed to say hello, right? You're supposed to say hello. You're supposed to act like you want to help somebody. If I walk into a Foot Locker, I know that I want size 12 shoes. If I see them on the rack, I'm not there to bullshit. Like, I want somebody to help me, get me the 12s, and I'm going to get out. But customer service, that's just treating someone like a human. That's like acknowledging somebody's in your space, in your store to do commerce. What's the next evolution? The next evolution of that is digital hospitality. It's what happens. It's all those oh shit moments that happen on your phone. If you order on DoorDash and all of a sudden it's easy as hell to order, there's photos for you to order. You can click where, add it to your cart. You add your credit card information. It's a seamless experience. They tell you the restaurant's confirmed your order. They text you when the drivers come to your door. Like, that's digital hospitality. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting the same product, and you're getting it in a way that you would get Amazon. And we live in an Amazon Prime world. It's one click. I'm an Amazon customer. My wife orders all week long. An Amazon package is coming to our house.
1 hour, baby. That's the 1 hour. We're all searching for that 1 click to 1 hour, baby. And Alibaba has figured it out in China. They got a 1 click to 1 hour, and it costs you $1. It's pretty crazy how they figured things out, and we will get there, obviously, as we grow and evolve. And I think more and more people will be probably doing stuff with driving, like Uber Eats and DoorDash and all these kind of things. It's not as bad. It's pretty lucrative, actually, for their time. And they get to pop up and work when they want. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of different opportunities out there. And I think now is just a really more important time than ever, like you said, to think about how are you online, but how basically is your whole hospitality in your business, and how are they working together? Because I think sometimes they don't work together. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, they're not combined. It's like when people experience online is not what you actually have in store. And then sometimes it's vice versa. And now more than ever, just the time to refresh, and I say lean in, especially on digital, baby, because you can track it all. That's why I got into this business. You can track it all. You can see how many web impressions you had and where they came from, and you can retarget them. So in your business, you can retarget them with the $50 off catering gift card. Or I saw on your website you had the free peach cobbler, folks. So if you join in his website email right now, which we'll put in there at CaliBBQ.Media, and we'll put that in the show notes, obviously, but so you don't have to worry about that, folks. But if you click it and you go and join his email subscription, you possibly get a free cobbler. And so you can put that in your retargeting in big ways. You can do offers and all sorts of things so that the people are visiting your website, then get retargeted with these offers and incentives, and it can be refreshed. But the point is, now's the time, because it's not tomorrow. It's not next week I'm going to get this done. Next year, 2020, 21, whatever, is now. And but now we're about to take you in, my man, to our top 10. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go, baby. Apple or Android?
Easy, Apple.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
IG. You built a great Instagram.
Thank you. Yeah.
People love food on Instagram.
People love food, and so we actually just created a separate food focused Instagram account, which is kind of a tough move to make when you have as many followers as we do. But for us, it's a bigger play of let's create a food focused feed, and then the other one will be more towards what I'm doing, as the founder of the company. And you'll have two then. You'll have two, won't you? Yep. Well, yeah. Three actually, because we got the podcast one too. So. There you go. It's like anything in communities. It's hard to build over time. It's not always easy, because sometimes it was like the heyday. Like TikTok's the heyday right now. You can build a viral TikTok. Harder to build a viral Instagram, because Instagram's monetizing right now. And so over the last 3 to 5 years, I'd say last year at least strong, they've cut the algorithms and the organic reach of many, many people, obviously of all sizes, pages. So people that were getting, let's just say they were getting 1,000 engagements on each post, they're getting 100 now on the same post. They're getting 1/10 of the engagement. But it's still free. It's still free. If we can't tag you, we can't pimp you. Yeah, exactly. There you go. If you don't have a handle, and you participate, you get some sort of earned media, you get on local news. Who are they going to tag? Right. That's free money. That's free followers. That's free people. That is opportunity that is just out there, easily available, but you have to own your handles. So true. Chicken or steak for you? Steak. Steak, baby. Laptop or smartphone? Oh, smartphone. Got it. The thing is so powerful. I've been seeing these the models of the iPhone 12 coming soon. Spotify or Pandora? I'm actually Pandora. Nice. I love it. Pandora is old school, but it's cool. I like your Pandora because you just never know what's coming up next. It just keeps you on your toes. You pick the genre and then it just goes. Movies or video games? Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
Definitely reading books.
Stocks or real estate?
Real estate.
Real estate. Oceans or lakes? When you're thinking about vacation, getting away?
Oceans.
You already buy a
Easy.
beautiful ocean, man. San Diego, Ocean Beach. I love that place, man. La Jolla. Nothing but beauty. Nothing but beauty.
It's waiting for you.
I know, my man. I know. It's calling me. I got to make a few more millions. And, one of my startups hopefully will get me good here. I'm hoping. We're seeing a few good signs. We're seeing a few good signals. We'll see. Why do you love being you? When you wake up in the morning, my man, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're sitting there getting ready for the day. Beyond being a great dad and a great husband and an awesome business owner, why do you love being you?
I think it comes back to gratitude of opportunity. I mean, we've never had the historical ability to make an imprint on the world the way that we can because of the internet. And so many people are getting more access to the internet. My grandfather was born in a Bulgarian village in 1919, and he was supposed to be a farmer. He was supposed to be a farm boy, but he learned how to read. His grandfather taught him how to read. He read every book in the village. He eventually became a medical doctor during World War II. Wow. He learned German just so he could learn medicine. So he went to medical school in Germany during World War II when they were getting bombed. And he was able to become a medical doctor, move to the United States, and create this incredible life of privilege for us. Wow. I can only imagine if my grandfather was given the internet in that Bulgarian village, what he would be able to accomplish.
Right.
And it's a game changer. And every time that we underestimate the power of the internet, and we underestimate, what we're doing in our niche, whatever we love, whatever we care about, whatever, keeps us up at night, that keeps us fired up, that we get excited about, that could be something that you're doing.
Right.
If you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things you have to constantly take hold of it, because no one else is going to do it for you, folks. No one else is going to work at your dreams. No one else is going to record these B-Roll shows except T Huff. I've been doing it for 6 years, 242 episodes. No one has done it for me. No one. And so It's been me and the guests, but it hasn't been one guest. It's been 240 guests. So it's been me and 240 people have made this show. So, and then you, the listeners, have made the show because you said, hey, this is awesome. Bring this guest on. Check this out. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate your reviews, etc. And so that validates your boy T Huff to keep on going. But it's me no one else is doing it. Just like no one else wipes your butt, folks. So just remember that you got to do it. And many times we leave it to the universe is going to pay us off. And I believe in some things like that. I believe that if you work on your goals and your dreams and you put action behind it, the abundance of the universe will pay you. It might not just be tomorrow, though. It might just be you're going to have to put in 12 years like a man did, and then you're going to see more abundance than you ever believed because of all the work you put in. Even more because you were set up to do this, helping more people, podcast grows, business grows, maybe second things. Who knows what happens in your life, And so that's how it goes. That's just the reality, folks. In your life, do you think you'll ever retire?
No, I believe what my grandfather believed, and that's retirement meant death.
Right.
So as long as mentally I'm doing the things that I love and that can make an impact, then I'll live for as long as I'm fortunate to live.
Yeah.
But retirement isn't something that I aspire to, sitting on a beach at the end of the day. No, I want to make an impact. I want to squeeze every single ounce of life every single day.
You're blessed to have those examples too, to look on and to humble you in your journey, knowing his struggle and journey, and knowing now you have the whole world at your hands in this damn little phone. You got 500 million books right here. You know what I mean? Audible and just however you want to get it. Or you can obviously read books. I love reading books, but you have unlimited knowledge in your phones and computers and smart pads and everything. And so it's just a matter of what you want to do with it. Do you have a routine to start your day? Is there some way that you get ready for your days?
Yeah. So I actually just recently on January 13th, I started working with David Meltzer. He's my business coach.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Phenomenal follow on Instagram. Highly recommend people checking him out. He has a top 50 business podcast called The Playbook. But he started to be my mentor. But I went to one of his trainings at the end of last year, and we was talking about Einstein's theory of compounding interest and really how it related to daily habits. So he gave his presentation, and we went around the room and we talked about, basically gratitude. And what my daily habit was going to be for 2020 was practicing gratitude when the sun came up. Every single day when the sun came up, I was going to make a point to get outside and either walk, hike, run, exercise in some form for 45 minutes to an hour.
That's awesome.
So January 13th, when I started that, I'm at day 153 now.
Good job, dude.
It's been an incredible thing for mind, body, and spirit. I wake up, I start my day by 4 a.m. I've been trying to read a book a week. That's my time. That's my time to sharpen my saw, to make myself better, to be a better leader, to be a better father, to be a better husband. It's uninterrupted time. And as an entrepreneur, as somebody that, trying to do as many things as possible, once I get going in my day, I mean, as much as I love digital, I have to respond. I mean, the amount of messages, DMs, email, you name it, it's all day. And I love it. Right. I would have it no other way. But that morning time, it's my protected time.
Yeah.
It might as well be airplane mode. I do check emails, but that's after I do my reading, my reading to make me better in the long term.
Have you always done that, or is it all a new routine? Is that all kind of a new routine?
No, I've always been an early riser. Early riser. And, some people aren't early risers, and that late night is their time.
Right.
But, that real mental time, and it's something I watched my grandfather do it, when I was a kid. He raised me. I never met my dad, but he raised me in La Jolla, and I was very privileged, and, I consider him my father. But I would wake up and, in the middle of the night, and I would go, and he would be in his office. And I was like, Grandpa, what are you doing? And he's sitting there reading books on real estate. He's a medical doctor.
Wow.
What are you doing? He's like, I'm making myself better. I'm improving my mind.
That's awesome.
And that led to, his second career. And that's something that, I take to heart.
That's amazing, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, some of us don't have those examples. And if you do, it's just great to hear those stories, because that's what it is all about. Is even if you are set in your ways, if you want to call it, in a certain career, don't think that there's not a second career for you, or maybe a side hustle or whatever, multiple streams of revenue. There's nothing wrong with that, folks, in this world, obviously, of if one stream goes down, you got another stream, and so there's nothing wrong with that. I think too many people forget that you can have multiple streams of revenue coming in.
Well, not only that, but it's easy for me because I'm an entrepreneur to talk about being an entrepreneur. But a lot of people, they don't have that in them, which is totally fine. But that doesn't mean they can't make themselves better in the digital side. Because I guarantee you, 99% of businesses in whatever industry you're in, your company is not winning digital. You might be doing some things good, but there are things that you can look at and go, wow, we don't have a YouTube page. Wow, we really do. Our email, we have all these regional stores and it comes from corporate and it doesn't feel right. Why don't I start making our own message for Fresno?
Right.
And say, let's talk to my village. Let's talk about Fresno. Even though it's as a national company, let's do that. And it's going to be a bitch. There's going to be a bunch of people along the way that are going to tell you no.
Right.
There's going to be CMOs.
More
CFOs.
work. Yeah, more work. Let's be real. It's more work involved.
More work, but you offer to do that work. And I guarantee you'll grow in the company more than anyone else because people aren't willing to do that. Just because you're an accountant doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it.
Right. Such a good point. It's like they call it intrapreneur. It's the person that builds the business inside of the business, inside of Apple, inside of certain businesses. They had someone that was an intrapreneur. They were an entrepreneur, but they didn't want to actually do it on their own. So they kind of just, the company just went with it. They say, hey, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's create the iPad. Or what, it's just someone had suggested that at some point,
Act like you own the company and you'll get in places that the ownership won't be far away.
Right. It's like the boss is going to be like, dude, this is amazing. Let's just be real. Any boss that's out there listening knows that you got someone that's out there putting extra work in to help you grow your business, especially right now. You're going to do everything you possibly can to keep that person on board. Everything in your possible power because they are putting in the effort for you. Shout out to Dave Meltzer, though. I love working with them, too. I work with Todd over there, too, man. He's a great dude.
Awesome.
Love those guys. And he's got a great message, man. Just a great message. I love his message about optimizing your calendar, folks, because you can always be optimizing your calendar, looking at it and squeezing it out what else more can I do? Where are the loops? Where are the holes? Because we all got more time than we realize when we really just optimize and look and relook and find and squeeze and okay, that didn't work. This works. And there's just so much time we have that we just don't
do it.
Go ahead. Yeah. I would love, do it now. Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
do it now.
I love that.
Don't wait.
I've always taken that mentality. Since I worked in the business at ABC Television, people would always be like, oh, why are you quickly? I'm like, dude, it's so much easier. Just quickly respond to emails and just quickly get this shit done and off your hands. Even if you are handling a big project too at the same time, a fire comes in, a text, a call, handle the call real quick. Hey, cool, no problem. We'll get that handled for you. It takes 30 seconds. You don't have to play phone tag with the person. And people don't like when your customer's calling and you don't respond. If it's a fire, hey, no problem. Cool, I'll help you out right now. Boom, no worries. You can't take every phone call, folks. Let's just be real. But sometimes we're working on a proposal. We can take a quick phone call. We could play phone tag, or we could just say, hey, man, what's up? Hey, you know what, TF, I got another business for you I want to get. Hey, I want to give you some more money because I'll have a new campaign. If I didn't take that phone call, they might just call someone else, So the point is, at the end of the day, just like I love that about Dave, no matter how big you get, no matter how much time and things you got to do, just say yes and figure out a way to put it in your schedule, man. Just say yes if you can and put it in your schedule. And the world's a happier place because of people like Dave, man, helping people, not only as entrepreneurs, but he really is just trying to help people too, in many ways. Obviously, he's got a business to build, but his message is resonant, like Gary Vee, man, to me. Do you have a favorite app on your phone? Something you like using?
Favorite app? That's a great question.
Yeah. Is there an app you like that you could, everyone has different apps they like. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, as far as advice, or just one that I use the most?
Yeah, ones you like the most. I like that. That's what I personally
ones that I like the most, definitely. Texting I love. I love texting. But now that texting has become such a form of communication, I tend to agree with David Meltzer where phone call is more powerful. Yep. A voicemail is more powerful. Right. Leaving a voicemail, leaving a video, instead of just responding and DMing somebody that you're trying to get, to invest in your company or to whatever, to do a catering, say thank you in a video, a short video. It'll make you stand out more than anything else.
And it takes like 2 seconds. It actually is easier, folks, once you get used to this, because I had a few, Bomb was one of the ones we had on the show along the way, one of the chief evangelists over there. And it's basically like video inside your email, because it's basically like, hey, just take that time, quickly push record. It takes no time. Half the time you start, in the beginning, it takes a little bit of time, right? It takes a little bit of time to kind of come up with what to say. You kind of get nervous, but it's just like recording this podcast or just like anything, you start to just get in the flow. You record 10 a week, 10 a day. You record, you start to get in the, hey, no big deal. I'll just record, say thank you. Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nice messages. And people really, it actually is way better, folks. You'd be surprised than just sending someone a thank you email. It's unbelievable. Absolutely. We just say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much, Shawn, for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate you, brother. You gave a lot of energy today. That means so much more us talking to each other because we can see each other than, just writing that to you in an email. And I mean that from my heart, my brother. So that's the truth.
No, I appreciate that.
If you could sit down with anyone in the world and have a steak dinner tonight, who would it be? Have you ever been to Mr. A's? Have you been to Mr. A's there?
Absolutely.
That place, man. I love that place, dude. They got that stuff. I love that view.
Dead or alive?
Doesn't matter.
Kobe.
Oh, dude. This shit changed my life, dude. 2020, I remember making eggs, watching the Pro Bowl, and my wife comes in, and she's like, dude, Kobe died. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it blew my mind. I'm a new dad. I am just like, what in the hell are you talking about? I could not even put my head around it. You know what I mean? And then obviously from there, we know the story. We know everything. We know. But since then, the world's been different, man. And for a lot of good reasons too. Us dads have stepped up. I think Kobe made a lot of dads say, life's precious, life's valuable, treasure it, especially girl dads, but all dads. It made us really step up. And I think more than anything Kobe did in life on the court, obviously one of the most amazing basketball players, one of the most amazing talents, an entrepreneur, investor, artist, movies, everything, doing everything, work ethic. But dad, is like, at the end of the day, like if he shows and changes the way it means to be a dad, I think that's the most important thing. The dude was flying helicopters all the time because he wanted to be home for his kids, to take him to soccer practice, to go to the things. He sacrificed everything in his life and schedule around his family. And so that just shows you, I think, and I've talked to many dads about this, obviously, but yeah, that just changed 2020 for me, man. And I'm sure, if we could talk to him today, he'd probably say, hey, man, it ain't going to be easy, man. Because I don't know I don't know how we're going to be all getting through this. Not everyone's going to be in business after this. I don't know. I have so much faith and hope in humanity, but it's going to take the work ethic of Kobe in all of us, not only being fathers and friends and husbands, because we got to manage our own personal lives too, being a pandemic and being home with each other. And, it's tough for everyone being at home life, then being there for the business. And we're going to all have to have that mentality, that Mamba mentality of putting in the 200 extra shots a day. That's what I feel like we're going to all have to have right now. And if in many ways, we could see his legacy, but he's just, dude, that dude was, I was just heartbroken, man. And so I still am in many ways, but there's nothing you can do, man. You have to just accept it as life. It's the shittiest part of life. And, but then just to memorialize and then make a difference in your life, since then I've stepped up big time in my life. I know as a dad, I stopped bitching a little less. You know what I mean? It's like when those moments you're just like, dude, what would Kobe say right now? And know that time is precious for all of us. I'm 38 years old. Yep. Time's clicking, 1981, 38. Baby. 38, baby, 38. Thank you, sir. Yep, getting old, man.
I'm 38 as well. Were you class of 2000?
I was in class of 1999. 1999. Yep.
There you go.
Yep, right before the 2000. It's been a fun ride, man. Life is a blessing.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started, baby. On the way to 200. Baby.
Ray Kroc didn't start till he was 53. We're all good.
Exactly. I really just appreciate your energy, brother. I think you have an amazing energy. I think the business is going to continue to prosper. I think your podcast and what you're doing to help people with their hospitality and finding ways to, let's just be real, survive and try to thrive on the end of this thing. You know what I mean? Survive right now, but then thrive at the end, because people are going to go out of business and then you're the only barbecue spot in town for, less people are available, because that's just the nature. If you can survive, your competitor can't, you win in 5 years, And so, and if you can try to do that and stay focused, but tell us, Shawn, where is the best place for people to find you? Where is the best place for people to find you online? Learn more about the business.
The best thing for people to do is go to Google and search CaliBBQ. That'll give you an idea of what you need to do for yourself.
Right.
Google is obviously one of the most powerful tools. Audio is going to be coming next, which is going to be, Alexa, Siri, and all that.
Right.
But if you go to Google and you type CaliBBQ, you will find all the search results that we've been working for 12 years to optimize, so that when you go to the news, there's news articles about us being in the New York Times or being in local TV. There's images, there's articles, there's podcasts, you name it, it's on there. And that's the easiest way to find me.
And if you join his newsletter, you can get a free peach cobbler. Don't forget that, folks, because that makes me hungry right now. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, we'll put that in the show notes, folks. You don't have to worry about that. Just click the info and you can get that in the show notes for sure. And then also, lastly, for you on social, where's your favorite place to hang out for people? Where's your personal favorite place for people to find you?
My personal favorite place is Twitter.
Twitter, let's go. Tell them your handle on Twitter.
At Shawn, SHAWN, middle initial, last name Walchef, WALCHEF. If you tweet at me and you heard me on the show, I'll give you a follow and get you some behind the scenes tour if you ever make it to San Diego for some barbecue.
I love it. We'll definitely put that in the show notes too. Folks, you've been hanging out with Shawn Walchef and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you so much for your time today, and let's keep being real. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, and also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it, and thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now, and Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now and take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services. At little to no cost for most of the businesses, and some businesses, you're gonna have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now, so take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out, and we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.